showtime! Woo, woo! Woo, 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 woo! Silent and profiling! Woo, woo, it's live and in color. Woo!
Welcome to the Mafia Sports Report. I'm your host, Tommy, to the highest degree, to the TOP from the 313. What is going on, Bills Mafia? Listen, guys, I got to thinking last night about this upcoming season and how special it's going to be, especially on both sides of the ball, right? Offense and defense. But I really got to thinking about the offense and now that Cole Beasley's gone, now with the emergence of Gabriel Davis going into his second season. His third season. And what he did in that playoff loss versus the Chiefs. Very high expectations for Gabriel Davis coming into the 2022 season. So I remember last season, guys, we spoke about this and we talked about how many Buffalo Bills receivers are going to get 1,000 yards receiving. And a lot of people had 4, which was unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I said it's not going to happen. And I honestly thought 3. I did say 3. And, I should have done my homework better. I really should have. Because, not that it's impossible, guys, but it's hard to get even 2 wide receivers, including a tight end. Okay, just to say receivers in general, to get over 1,000 yards in a season on the same team. So I'll give you an example. Last season, there was only 5 teams that had receivers, and this is including tight ends, over 1,000 yards on the same team. Only 5 had it, and we weren't one of them. We weren't one of them, by the way. And I predicted 3, right? I even thought 2 for sure, no doubt. We didn't even get that. So let me tell you the 5 teams that got over 1,000 yards receiving from their receiver and tight end room, or 2 receivers. So the Chargers, okay, Mike Williams had 1,146 yards. Keenan Allen had 1,138 yards. The next team, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Mike Evans, 1,035. Chris Godwin, 1,103. The next team, the Kansas City Chiefs, Tyreek Hill, 1,239 yards. Travis Kelce, 1,125 yards. The next team, the Cincinnati Bengals, Jamar Chase, 1,455 yards. T. Higgins, 1,091. And the last team, which was surprising, I'll be honest with you guys on this one. I didn't know that they did this. Baltimore Ravens, Mark Andrews, 1,361 yards. And then Marquise Brown, which is not on the team anymore, 1,008 yards. I didn't know Mark Andrews had that kind of a season. I know he's their prime weapon there, but that's a really good season for a tight end. But that's it, folks. 5 teams, and we were not one of them. And we were the best offense in the league, I believe. I think we were number 3. I apologize. I think we were top 5 around there. I want to say we were 3rd last year in total offense, but we didn't have multiple receivers with 1,000 yards, including tight end. We only had one, Stephon Diggs. So, did my research. I went back, and I already knew this stat going into last season, which was the Buffalo Bills, the last time they had 2 1,000-yard receivers in a single season was in 2002 Eric Moulds had 1,292. Peerless Price had 1,252 yards. Okay. We only did that one more time. Now I'm going back since 1990, guys. So I didn't go back into the 60s, the 70s, the 80s. Okay. So this is from 1990, okay, up. So pretty much when I started watching football. So if you guys really want to do your homework and go back past 1990 in the 80s, 70s, 60s, fine. But I'm talking 90s up until now. 1991, Andre Reed, 1,113 yards. James Lofton, 1,072. That's it. So 91, and we didn't have it. Another two receivers or tight end to eclipse over 1,000 yards until 2002. And we haven't had it since. And we are going into the 2022 season. So I always say put your brakes on, the high expectations for receiving yards and, rushing yards, the total offense on the stats for every single player. Because, like I said last year when people were saying 4 receivers with 1,000 yards, I was hearing Stephon Diggs for sure, no doubt. I was hearing Gabriel Davis. I was hearing Cole Beasley, right? Emmanuel Sanders. That was the 4 that I kept hearing. And I didn't think Emmanuel Sanders was going to do it because he was older, right? He was new to the team. My 3 that I thought last season was going to be Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, and Gabriel Davis, okay? And I thought Dawson Knox was going to have an okay year, but not quite get to 1,000. Maybe I was thinking 500, 600, something like that, which I think that's what he wound up doing anyways. So I wasn't too off. So my point is this: I went back, I dug also back, and I wanted to see that 2002 team compared to the 2022 upcoming team. That offense was special, guys, in 2002. So they had Eric Moulds, 1,292 yards. They had Peerless Price at 1,252 yards receiving. Okay. Also, that year, which makes this unbelievable, Travis Henry had 1,438 rushing yards. You guys want to know the last time a Buffalo Bills team had a running back and a receiver go over 1,000 yards in the same season? The last time, 2012. Stevie Johnson, 1,046 yards. CJ Spiller, 1,244 yards. That is the last time that we had a running back with over 1,000 yards and a receiver over 1,000 yards. We are in 2022. Okay. So that 2002 team, right? You're talking Drew Bledsoe with over 4,500 yards. So I'm going to go and, read these stats so you kind of understand where I'm going with this and why I'm comparing or hoping that the Buffalo Bills can match or even come close to what that 2002 Buffalo Bills team did on offense. Okay. And then I'm actually gonna match the 2021 season and kind of compare the two. Okay, so Drew Bledsoe, he finished the season with 4,359 yards. Mind you, 16-game season. We are now, last year was 17 games. Just saying. Travis Henry, 1,438 rushing yards. Okay. And like I said, Eric Moulds, 1,292 yards and 1,252 for Price. Now, I also want to go over the rest of the team there that year on the receiving because it's interesting. So, Josh Reed, our slot receiver, 509 yards. Centers, who was our fullback at the time, 388. Jay Remersma, tight end, had 350. And then Travis Henry, our running back, at 309. So those are our main targets. Now, last year, Josh Allen, 17 games, 4,407 yards, right? Then you go to the running back at rushing, 870 for Singletary. The receivers, go there. Stephon Diggs, 1,225 yards. Cole Beasley, 693. Emmanuel Sanders, 626. Dawson Knox at 587. And Gabe Davis at 549. So, listen, where I'm going with this is if you look at that team last year, Stephon Diggs, Cole Beasley, Emmanuel Sanders, Dawson Knox, Gabriel Davis. And then you got to count in the running back, right? I mean, even though we don't throw it too much, Devin Singletary still had 228 rushing yards, right? It is very tough for receivers on the same team to have, even including tight end, to have multiple receivers with over 1,000 yards in the same season. So that's why I'm trying to say to you guys, that 2002 team, if we can even come close to that, would be an unbelievable season. And I still think it's going to be an unbelievable season. But I just want to explain to you guys how tough it is to get those kind of stats and spread the ball around to everybody. And those players still get those kind of productions. It's not easy. Not easy. We came close in 2000. Cole Beasley was what? 25 yards short, something like that. But it didn't happen, right? Injuries happen. Things happen. This is what football's all about, right? And by the way, too, Josh Allen on the numbers, very similar. I got to say, very similar to Drew Bledsoe that year. He had 36 touchdowns, 15 interceptions, Josh Allen, last year. Okay. And he threw for 4,407 yards, right? Drew Bledsoe that year threw for 4,359 yards. And then he had, let's see here. He had, I want to say, where's the touchdowns to interceptions? Do I have that? Hold on, guys. I thought I had that pulled up for you guys. Okay, I did. 24-15. So Josh Allen had more touchdowns, but the interceptions were the same. Yeah, 15 interceptions. So very, very similar, guys. Very similar numbers last season. And Josh Allen actually had an extra game. Just saying, right? He also, they pretty much had the same attempts. Very, very similar years. The only difference is he had multiple receivers with over 1,000 yards. Travis Henry with over 1,400 yards rushing. So that's what made that offense so special. And I believe with the additions of Cromer, with the addition of Ken Dorsey taking over Brian Daboll as offensive coordinator, we may very well see Devin Singletary go over 1,000 yards. And I'm actually going to come out and say it. I predict he'll get over 1,000 yards. I don't think it's going to be something crazy like 1,400 yards like Travis Henry. I think it'll be something like 1,075, something like that, maybe 1,100, which would be very good, guys. We are a pass-heavy team. We know that. But I think the way Ken Dorsey's trying to go with this offense is a little bit more rounded. Now, as far as the receivers go, this is where it gets tricky, very tricky. Cole Beasley's gone, right? Who's up next? Who's the number 2 now? Well, Gabriel Davis, clearly. He earned it, right? Last year, you know what's funny? He was our 5th, I think it was our 4th option, something like that. Like, it was Diggs, Beasley, Sanders, Knox, Gabe Davis. Yeah, he was pretty much our 5th option. He is now going to be our 2nd, okay? So this is a big step for Gabriel Davis, okay? So I'm going to say he's going to get over 1,000, but I'm going to tell you, it may not happen. I'll be real. This is a big step for him. and he has not come close to 1,000 yet. So, yeah, and then I guess moving forward, the problem is if he has a breakout year, then we got to have to find out how to pay the man, right? So now look at the receivers, right? So now you got Diggs 1, Gabe Davis 2, right? You got Dawson Knox, tight end. He's probably going to be our third option. Crowder, who is a very good slot receiver, who's put up very good yards in his career, is going to be our fourth, right? Then you got McKenzie, right? Who's going to get something. How much is going to get? Maybe 300. He's more of a gadget guy. I can see him getting like something like 275, something like that, 300 maybe. Then you got our running backs now, right? Now you got to consider Devin Singletary getting a little bit more involved like he was last year at the end of the year receiving. Then you got our rookie coming in, James Cook, who I believe he's going to be on a lot of passing downs. Then you got the addition of O.J. Howard at tight end number 2. I believe, and some don't, but I do believe that Ken Dorsey is going to use a lot of 2 tight end sets to help Josh Allen, to give him that extra weapon on the field, because O.J. Howard, when healthy, is a freak athlete. Has the speed, has the size. He has good hands. Like, the dude is legit. He's just had bad luck since he was drafted. If he can put it all together, he's a dangerous weapon to have out there for Josh Allen. And of course, you guys also got to take this into consideration. The additions of Crowder, the additions of Howard, the additions of Cook, Khalil Shakir, I guess, but I think, you got to slow your horses down on that one too. I think he's going to be really good, by the way. But I think his first year is going to be more watching Crowder, maybe, going on. I don't think he's going to see a lot of play time. But anyways, so with those sets of guys, right, that I just mentioned, they're new. So they're going to have to, Josh Allen's going to have to get a feel for these guys. And they're going to, and they're going to also have to earn Josh Allen's trust to go to them. It's the way it works. Not every receiver is going to come in here like a Stephon Diggs and just click with Josh Allen. It doesn't always work that way. Josh Allen's great. But if you notice one thing about Josh Allen, he goes to the guys he trusts the most, right? So who was his go-to guy when things kind of got flustered in the pocket? He had to, get 3 yards for a first down. Most of the time it was Cole Beasley, right? Then last year, I want to say it was turning into Dawson Knox a little bit there, right? Dawson was taking that spot. But the previous seasons, Dawson had, issues with catching the ball, right? With route running. Dawson Knox improved a ton and is still improving. And I think Dawson Knox is going to be one of the better tight ends in this league. But Josh Allen is starting to get that trust with Dawson Knox. And I think it's definitely started last season. Now that Cole Beasley's gone, who's going to be that guy that Josh Allen can trust, right? When it's third and short, right? We need that 3 yards, 4 yards, whatever. Is it Dawson Knox? Is Crowder going to come in and just click with Josh Allen right away? We'll see. But, I'm comparing the two teams because you guys also got to remember Drew Bledsoe was his first year in 2002, right? So this is how good that team was. You got a new quarterback who's never played with Eric Moulds, never played with Peerless Price, never played with Josh Reed, right? Never played with Travis Henry. And all those guys connected together and had a phenomenal offensive season. It's just too bad we had a terrible coach in Greg Williams who couldn't get the defense up to par. It wasn't like the Patriots were running the show back then. The Jets won the division, winning 9 games. We were 8-8. I mean, terrible. Anyways, I also pulled up some other interesting stuff. So, 90. So I got that, the 91 and 2002. So, and then I got the Steve Johnson. Let me see here. So I did tell you guys about the two receivers, 91, Andre Reed. I told you that, which is, guys, that is a mind-blowing stat. 91. Then the last time, 2002, were two receivers on the Buffalo Bills had over 1,000 yards. That is wild. It hasn't happened since 2002. What? Like, that's why I'm saying to you guys got to really start respecting the drought year players, those guys. Eric Moles, Peerless Price, Lee Evans, Josh Reeds. And that's why, by the way, we're doing the top 100, because I know a lot of you guys, not a lot, but majority guys or some of you, whatever, are fairly new, right, to Bills Mafia. Or you're young. It is what it is. I'm an old fart, right? I'll be 44 this season. And some of you guys only been started watching since, let's say, I don't know, 2014 or something. 2013, you started really getting into Buffalo Bills football. Well, you kind of missed out. You missed out on a lot of great players, a lot of great talent that came through Buffalo. And, that's why we're doing the top 100 to give you guys a little idea of what you missed out on and how special some of these players were that were just on badly coached teams or badly ran GM, running the team into the ground, right? But anyways, so you guys, I would kind of hold your horses on the whole 3 1,000-yard receivers, because I wish I would have looked it up, but I couldn't tell you the last time one team had 3 1,000-yard receivers. And I'm not saying it hasn't happened. I just don't remember off the top of my head. And I'm sure I'll do the research later. And who knows? Could have been, it wasn't last year, but it could have been the year before. I don't know. But last year, like I said, I already named the teams, only 5. And nobody had 3. They all had 2, right? So it's just the NFL is a little different. You got a lot of weapons now. And it's not like, I don't think it's like before, man. It's just not, right? So if we can come close, like I said, to what the 2002 team did on offense with multiple players over 1,000 yards, a running back over 1,000 yards, guys, it's going to be a phenomenal year. And like I said already, even if that doesn't happen, it's still going to be an unbelievable year. This year, we're going to the Super Bowl. This year, we're winning the Super Bowl. I truly believe that. Yeah, this is the year, guys. But I did this video because I just, I had to compare the two, because I made the mistake, like I said last season, by saying there's going to be 3 1,000 yards. And sometimes we get caught up in the hype a little bit. We get caught up in emotion, right? Like, oh my God, what he did last season. Gabe Davis, the playoff, over 200 yards. Man, for sure he's going to get, 1,200 yards receiving, and Diggs is going to get, 1,500 yards receiving. It's not easy, guys. It really is not easy. So, how I see this season, I do think there's going to be 2 1,000-yard receiving. I do. I think it's going to be Diggs, and I think it's going to be Gabe Davis. I think Dawson Knox is going to get a little bit better. He had almost 600 yards last year. I could see Dawson Knox getting about 7 to 750, somewhere around that range. I could see the new guy Crowder getting I see Crowder getting Emmanuel Sanders type numbers, which is a little over 600 yards receiving, which is a good season. It's not bad. You got to understand he's new, right? He's understanding the playbook's new. Josh Allen, a new quarterback, right? Josh Allen has to trust him, right? So all that's going to take time, right? We only got 3 preseason games, right? So it's not like they're going to be playing much preseason together, right? It's just all going to come down to training camp, getting on the same chemistry, right? Like getting the chemistry together, getting on the same pattern, whatever you want to call it. So I could see him getting a little over 600 yards, just like Emmanuel Sanders. Khalil Shakir, the new guy. Listen, I don't think this year is going to do much. I could be wrong, but I think he's going to be special in this league. I think he was. I'm going to say he was the steal of our draft. But anyways, I think he's going to be about 2 something, close to 300, and which is fine. And then I think Devin Singletary is going to be about 300 or right around what he's been doing. I think James Cook's going to be the one that gets the receiving yards out the backfield. I could see him definitely getting around 400, which is good. Can't complain. And I also see Devin Singletary rushing, like I said before, over 1,000 yards. I could definitely see it somewhere around the 1,050 to 1,100 range. And that's awesome, guys. There's nothing wrong with that. That's a phenomenal season, phenomenal offense. As long as we get to the promised land, get that trophy, get that, bring that Lombardi home. We're all celebrating in Buffalo. That's all we want. But hey, guys, I appreciate you guys watching this video, and I hope you learned something other than me just babbling on about stats and the 2002 team and when this the last time we did this and that. But it is important to know. It really is. So, guys, tune into our show Monday, 9 p.m. We're doing the top 100 all-time Buffalo Bills players list, and we will be doing 50 through 31. So 50 through 31. Tune in 9 p.m. live. We're going to be on the Buffalo fan base and the Mafia Sports Report and on Twitter on fan base as well. So tune in, and then we got a lot going on when the season starts, guys. A lot. AFC East Shakedown on Saturdays, which I will update you guys on the time on that. We even got a new guy joining the AFC Shakedown. He is a Jets content guy, Long Island Joe. If you want to check out his page, really, really nice guy. So I'm blessed to have him. I'm truly happy that he's joining us because we were missing a Jets content guy last season. So he's finally joining. So now we got the AFC East Shakedown complete and full. So that will be on Saturdays. I will get with you on the time. We are also having a fantasy football show, me and Mikey and his stepfather on Saturdays at 1 p.m. That should be an awesome show. Friday night, me and Mikey, once again, we will be doing our Friday Night Lights on the Mafia Sports Report channel. Also, guys, Tailgate Talk is back. Tailgate Talk is now going to be the post-game Buffalo Bills, official post-game show of the Buffalo Bills on Sundays and Thursday football games. So after Thursday night football, we will be on. After Sunday, no matter what time, we will be live. So tune in to that. And also Monday nights when the season starts, we will be live at, I believe, 11:15. So we will go on right after Monday Night Football to do the recap of the Buffalo Bills a little bit, recap of the Monday Night Football games. So yeah, man, lots going on. I appreciate you guys once again who subscribed, who's new to the channel. Thank you. And as always, go Bills. Peace.